All right, so what I'm doing right now is I'm just looking at some of the... I really did a horrible sort of copy-paste job of assets just to put them in here for now, because this is, if you're unfamiliar with what's going on, just a quick gray box. This is very undeveloped compared to some of the other zones. I may just hop on a tune and run around a bit. Is that okay with you guys? I noticed because of our player controller, you can't just hit like Shift Spacebar to maximize the screen. I wonder if there's some way that we could get both. Oh, there's Nick. Nick's armor's a little discombobulated. Keith said, I heard there is some bronze armor now, which is cool. Actually, Nick went through and made a whole rainbow of colors of armor early on. We've shown them off a little bit in like the newsletter and stuff. Here, check it out. Let me... Let's Nick do a little bit of fashionisting while I get my extremely hot coffee. What is the Inquisitor class? Are all classes going to make it to production? The desire to get all of the classes in will be strong with us. If we continue to make the progress that we're making, then it's very possible. But we can add classes, remove classes, do whatever as we go. No promises, because it's our game. Nick's response was, it's an anti-magic class that is a hybrid of fighter and enchanter. Yep. So it came up when we were originally talking about Shadow Knights, and it was like, do we want to have a different take on Shadow Knight? The idea of sort of a fighter enchanter seemed really fun to me, but as we talked, it wasn't a suitable replacement, and so we're like, let's do both. So I am naked except for some gloves. Nick, where do you suggest I go? Should I just be farming? I think maybe I should just be farming some coin and then buying some armor at this rate. Well, sounds like there's another one over here. He got smashed. The parser, you're not getting the parser. The parser is not for you. The parser is for us. You guys, every time you get excited every time you see the parser. We can't have nice things. We'll leave you a few. Did I just break my own mess? Parser is $20 in-app purchase. Maybe, is that the route to go? Actually sell them in max features. Yeah, I can't imagine. We can't do it. I gotta say, I love any sort of blue or white effects when we're in here, just because of the other colors that are at play. Okay. Yeah, I did break my mess. Well. To be fair, I like the idea of no parser also. Adds a different element of mystery. Yes! You won't believe this, but mystery was my shower thought for today. I was thinking a lot about the amount of information we do or don't show, which was triggered just by spell and ability descriptions. Are classes separated in their skills enough to tell how they are played, even at low levels? And will their part have more than just a balance issue in party, but almost required classes? I know we talked about this before, if there's a favorite class yet, and if we have favorites, you can build groups out of any mix of classes. Yeah, we want to have the classes feel very distinct. You should be able to, I mean, you never fully know if you're not familiar with the game what a class is going to play like until you play or you read up on it. I have no doubt that this being an internet game, as Food Guy 72 mentioned, there will be plenty of information on various wikis and stuff like that to help people make their decision before they hop in and play. But I think a couple of things will help them understand what kind of mess they're getting into for years and years of their life. Earlier on is we want the game to play like the game pretty much from the first couple of levels, and so it's not like you get in and everybody's just running around blindly stabbing or smashing things, not using their abilities, not using their spells, etc. until level 12 or some shit like that. Classes, I mean, I'm level 4 at the moment, and to me the Inquisitor already feels like the Inquisitor. And so I think people will be able to try before they buy a little bit easier. The other thing, in terms of like group composition, our goal is to make the classes feel distinct, but make it so that they're just a ton of different group sort of class combos that are viable. So it's not like you feel like you have to have specific class X, Y, or Z no matter what. So Nick, I was thinking I need to figure out how to fix the effects so that they when your arms and stuff waggle around, they should be like world relative, right? I saw that I saw that there was an update to the cast bar. And this guy's healing himself.
So do you approve of the cast bar?
Let me cast again and look. Here, I'll just... Yeah. I'm trying to picture it before now.
Just the same thing with no text.
That's the only change? The text?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure the cast bar will change more in time.
Sure,
just,
but...
yeah, that's the only change.
It's funny, it looks so much better just from having the text on it.
Yeah, it's been a ticket for a while now. I wanted to see how it looked, and John got it in last night, or yesterday sometime, and the text was a little bit big, so I shrunk it down a bit, and I think it looks pretty good. It also shows what spell you're memorizing. Maybe, I don't know if we wanted to say that, or maybe say like scribing, memorizing, or something.
Let's see. Strength. Then we can put probably a little, this is fine for now. This is fine. Keith asked, what about removing the group mana bars so the team has to communicate more? We've had that conversation a couple times. I think the last answer that I remember that stood out to me was for classes that potentially can help you maintain your mana levels or whatever, it's not much different than having access to a health bar, right? So it's one of those areas where we could go hardcore and be like, you have to communicate more, but it seems like a weird disparity. Like if we're showing mana, or if we're showing hit points, we might as well show mana. Though it does take away the need for you to, in chat, say like, you know, 10M or whatever. Oh, let me switch languages on my keyboard.
Yeah, the only concern I have with not showing the mana bar is when you get into those groups with like a wizard or druid who just sits there 100% mana the whole time, soaking experience, and nobody in the group knows.
Keeps you honest.
Yeah, but I don't know. It might be a necessary evil if we...
Darga said, what are your thoughts on putting cast bars on unit frames too, so you can see the party members and It's funny, I was just commenting a little bit on unit frames and other stuff that's on the screen. My standard until the team just gets completely fed up with me to the point of full mutiny is keep as much shit out of this area as possible. Look how pretty this is right now. Like, I just want to focus on taking all this in. I don't want a bunch of UI in this scene. Honestly, I would probably turn off my own name.
I think they meant on the group bar though.
Yeah, but
not on
oh, sorry. Yeah, I guess I started there and then transitioned into my usual ramble. We're looking at another game in all of the unit frame. It's showing buffs. It's got the sort of WoW or CRPG style portrait and all this other shit. Like, to me, anything that's in this space, which includes like the unit frames and everything else, like the more we can minimize that and sort of have it kind of not really be there, the better to me.
Yeah, I think it might start getting a little cluttery if you could see your entire group's cast bars. I do have a ticket in for an enemy cast bar, however, and to try out.
Mm-hmm.
But for like group situations, you can always we'll be able to make macros, so you'll like casting heal or whatever on whoever, like EQ style. So I think that'd probably be sufficient, and it kind of is in line with our game being like a chat room with dragons. So
you guys work out a good pathing mob running guide with your aggro code. It appears so far. We've had some pluses and minuses with pathing. Ollie's the current A-star implementation seems good, but Ollie's also evaluating. I guess Unity has done some new stuff with pathing. You may look at that. or we continue to tweak this. As of the session on Tuesday night, this felt good. I didn't notice a lot of weirdness, but I guess we'll see. We'll have to get some placeholder drops in a couple of the camps. That way we can just sit and camp a few places and see what happens. Let's work our way back and pick Bunny up from the entrance, and then we can just find a place. I'm gonna pretend like I prepared for this and brought food. Dude, I know I said it before, and those of you watching the stream either live or on the VOD, if it's lame for me to keep saying that, or if you don't agree, feel free to let me know. But just looking at this as we've been playing... Oh, I'm good, dude. I just made myself some.
Oh, okay.
Oops. When I look at this, except for that T-pose, the textures and the colors, especially as the various spells pop off and stuff, and the, you know, just the lighting on the skeleton through the ribcage and all that shit. Man, I'm so excited. I love it. It's looking good. I like this art style so much better than so many others. Not picking on others. I guess that's a byproduct. When a small team's got their own game, they can make it look like what excites them.
Can you mez the cleric?
Yeah, good point. And I'm also far enough away from them that I may not break my own mez.
Yeah, you usually got to turn off auto attack for that to work in close quarter.
I love it though.
I'm gonna med a little bit while this mez is on. Actually, we're gonna get into trouble here soon. Don't back up.
Oh. Can we just mez our way out? Dude, Inquisitor's dope.
Yeah, it's like a control-based tank. If you don't have crowd control, well, the tank can do it for you.
Lunas, our class is going to have more abilities in EQ, or do you want to keep it simplified? Sorry, I'm slacking reading. I don't know how to say comparatively. I would say that given our approach to dates, and I'm assuming you mean like straight out of the gate or classic. If everybody's cool with it, we'll probably wind up with a comparable number of spells plus a variety of quirky things that we put in. Spells and abilities. Like...
Hey, do you want to just try to train out so we could get the button?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Does that zone line work?
Actually...
If the zone line doesn't work, then...
we should be good.
Okay.
Use my, invulnerability.
Well, then you should be good. Justin! What's going on, dude? How's the moves? Okay, I'm gonna run around here for a second. I think that may be Bunny. Cool. Run around here for a second for people that haven't seen any of the other critters and stuff. That's a big sword. Yeah. You think an ogre needs to compensate? And yet, let you see some bats and stuff. We'll watch the sunrise. We'll take a little break here while we get settled. So the effect, Stoic was saying the Icewind spell effect is a giant bright sphere, forms around the mob and explodes into a bunch of ice shards. I think we could probably have something that looks similar to that in our style. We don't want to do a bunch of like big sort of opaque stuff. But that said, there are some things like skulls and like the ghosts or demons or whatever at the end of Highlander, the first movie. That 80s style cartoon, sort of Indiana Jones spirits kind of shit that looks like it's hand drawn. It would be nice to try that out and see what it looks like. Do you have a specific philosophy behind attack ability animations? I used to think I didn't care much what animations look like, but I played some games with really meaty melee animations and I realized I craved that violence. Massgas said. Current philosophy is just to make sure that we've got stuff in so that we can at least look fairly complete while we're playing. And have them be both readable but not like super over the top. It's not an anime, it's sort of fantastic realism. So starting there, but like we'll see what happens What set is this of armor? Oh yeah, the trees are nice. When the sun comes up, we'll want to be around the trees. And they were made with the old configuration of armor. It'll be interesting to see with the new armor layers and stuff, how we're able to put those together. Oh yeah. Secret spot.
Speaking of secrets, we need to go into the broken wall thing.
Oh, in Wormsbane?
Yeah, well, you have to. You're
Yeah.
a gnome.
Yeah. I was hopping through there this morning. Oh, he died. Dargit said, curious to see with the armor layers if you can build up looks like the Ranger concept art with cloaks on top of mail, on top of leather, etc. I mean, that's the intent, so we'll see. We'll see. I'm hoping we can get some nice layering going with it. Nils asked if we've talked about consumable weapons like throwing holy water or alchemical fire or acid at all. I don't think we have, but since we are talking about itemization a bit more right now, let me put a little note over here in this area. All right, so we're gonna watch the sun come up and then we're gonna go look at shadows on the trees. Some things that have been worked on recently. Here we go. The sun's coming up. If this time slot works for you guys, please, please, please let me know. Because I think I can get more streams in. They may be random from time to time, but I think I can get more streams in. And to be able to like unblock my evenings, especially with the sun being up and summer and all of that stuff. To be able to hang out with Jasmine more, that'd be pretty dope.
Yeah, thanks to whoever made that Facebook post. That gave us like a bump. Nice bump.
Tree shadows are awesome. I cannot wait to like replace the grove of trees with the trees. So imagine how like the areas that we've been building out, like Sungreet Strand, where there's the date sort of orchards and stuff like that, and ground cover, because we can take these fronds and basically make like little palms. Just think about how much more character that's going to have then. Yeah, so I think, you know, to Bunny's point about them following the sun, I think the example here is it's moving fast because our day-night cycle is sped up quite a bit. But I think when things are moving at a regular speed, it'll really showcase the power of having like very distinct shape language, having this very simple but distinct shape language, and then using lighting. I mean, we see the power of lighting when we're in the dungeon, which we can go back to in a minute. So we see the power of lighting in the dungeon, and I think, I mean, even right here, right? So Bunny sits down in a shadow. So imagine the shadow's not moving as fast as it is, and there's just this character to it, right? Like it creates a slightly different scene. So I'm excited. It would be cool if foraging loot tables took in your immediate surroundings, like being more likely to pick up a coconut when near coconut trees or something. Yeah, I wonder what the cost would be of defining all of that. In theory, it could be built into the prefab, right? So if that was based off of like a volume or something of that nature, it could be built into the prefab of the tree. But I'm curious where we draw the line on that and what the actual potential hit is. Was thinking about different volume types relative to water, because I think it'd be cool if there is a water and then like a turbulent water or dark water, or you know, basically a more dangerous water that something like a little boat can't get into. I think Bunny's mentioned that BDO does something like that, and I know it's not a unique concept, and it should be easy enough to define with our water volumes. Yeah, river rapids are very, like, rivers are just gnarly. You can't just swim through a river. You got to take the ferry. That's the kind of stuff that I want to be able to define, so that then we have a little bit more control. But then we could also define like swamp water and things, you know, get poisons or diseases in certain water pools and all of that. And it should be easy enough to add to the volumes. Yeah, I was hoping we could fix this nav mesh and get things going here. Let me zone back to Night Harbor.
The new city walls look really nice. I don't know if you showed those off, especially in this time of day.
Yeah, they've been playing with the color and stuff. Nice. Yeah, it's definitely getting there. We may have to bug either Harrison or Goblin to make us a new torch. Keep the fire, but like a new torch, and we can get to placing torches and stuff in here. Craving some green space? We'll get you a little bit of green. I don't know whose bright idea it was to start in the desert. That person should be dealt with. So Nick, on the idea of the walls out here, what I was picturing was like essentially the old era sort of ruined wall and stuff like that from back when the Wormsbane were here, or maybe it could be the other civilization, to help break that up but not have it look as structured, so it doesn't feel like it's sort of like pinned in. But because I also wanted to get back to getting ruins and stuff around where the zone entrance was. I wonder, feels like we need, maybe it's as we start to, maybe it's some wood, or we need something to kind of break up the profile on the bigger, like when we look at this scene. Want to go back in a dungeon?
Sure.